y'all, Miss Katie here, Heritage Ways, and I welcome you home. Welcome to my cozy home. Welcome home to Heritage Ways. Today we are going to make another recipe that I clipped from the local newspaper. I've been doing several of these lately and y'all really enjoy them, especially the lasagna casserole that I did not long ago. So many people said they're going to try that, y'all. We're making that on repeat around here. We love that recipe, so I'll link that in the iCards for you to make at home. But today we're going to make something called hamburger pie. Now, if you grew up in the 60s and 70s like I did, you probably grew up with hamburger tater tot casserole. This is the same kind of idea, except you get to skip the step of cooking the meat, so that's nice. And then you just layer it. So we're gonna do that today. I've never made it. I'm gonna make it right here with you for the first time. We're gonna see how it turns out. Hamburger pie should be an easy weeknight supper with just like 4 ingredients. So stay tuned. Right after this, it gives you a chance to subscribe to Heritage Ways and ring that bell to get notifications. If you like comfort food and good old Southern cooking and homemaking, then I welcome you here. All right. Today is this pan from the Quality Plastics Company, actually, and this is a company that is in Ohio, where we just moved from. I know the gentleman who own and operate this company. One of the brothers manufactures this stainless steel pan. Now, these beautiful pans, there's 3 sizes, and this is called the Wren, W-R-E-N, and they're all named after beautiful birds. But stainless steel has so many benefits cooking in it. It's cleaner. You don't have the aluminum seeping into your food like you do with aluminum pans. And they're just it cleans up easier, and there's so many benefits. I like this lid, and this lid is so sturdy. The gentleman that makes the lid actually stood on one and jumped up and down to prove to me. And so anyway, and it's also deep. So if you had a cake or something that was iced, you know, you could put this lid on it, and then you could also have like a deli tray and put ice in here and just put that like that. Anyway, I love this pan. That is what I'm going to use today. I have ground round today. It's a pound. This recipe is from our local newspaper, and the Piggly Wiggly store, we call it the Pig. It sponsors the recipe section. Now, I sometimes use these gloves in the kitchen because they're just easy cleanup. All right, another reason why I chose this 8.5 by 11 pan is I thought maybe the 9 by 13 was gonna be too big, and I think I thought right. This pan actually measures 9 by 12.5. You just mash it in there raw. You don't have to cook it. It says, the original recipe says to sprinkle chopped onion, but I want to prove that this is going to be easy for a weeknight dinner and you don't have to chop things. I'm just sprinkling my onion powder. But if you want to put chopped onions, you can. Again, I'll have the recipe on my website, heritageways.com, hamburger pie. All right, next it calls for a can of mushroom soup and a can of cream of chicken soup. I like to make my own cream of soups, and I actually have a how-to video tutorial on our membership that I put out last month of how to make your own cream of soups, condensed soups. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna pour it on here. I'm not mixing them together first. Now, again, make your own if that's what you wanna do. I love to make my own, and it tastes so much better. But I'm just demonstrating here how you can use the condensed soups for a weeknight meal to pull this together. If you don't like mushrooms, then you can use 2 cream of chicken. Or, you know, if you want to use a cream of celery or a cream of something else. Okay, now the cream of chicken on top of that. Cream of mushroom I used was an organic, something I'd never bought before. And this one is Campbell's. And I'll have to say, in the world of cream of soups, honestly think Campbell's is better. Sometimes it doesn't matter about generics are fine, but for some reason, Campbell's is better. Of course, homemade is best, but sometimes you can't do that. We're diligent homemakers, and we just do the best that we can do. Now I'm gonna grate my cheese. I talked to you recently, if you're over there on Instagram, I talked to you recently about the benefits of grating your own cheese. This is an 8-ounce block. It is easier to grate if it's cold, but this has been sitting out a little while. Doesn't take but a second, and it's so much better, melts better. Doesn't have that cellulose on there. Cellulose is the coating that is put on the pre-shredded cheese because it keeps it from caking. So it's not one big glump in the bag when you buy it. Also, the cellulose allows the cheese to dry out, and that is a benefit because it prevents mold if the cheese is more dried out. It's a benefit, a mold prevention, mold prohibitor, maybe not prevention, prohibits, slows it down. Now we just sprinkle that cheese on top, and I'm likely gonna use the whole 8-ounce block. I bought it for this, so might as well. Mr. Patient says you can't have enough cheese, so I think it's gonna take it, that whole 8-ounce. I'll put, if you see that you'd like one of these pans, because it's the perfect size for a lot of little jobs, I'll put the link in the description box below, so you'll have that link. All right, that's an 8-ounce block of cheese. Now we've got our tater tots. You don't have to buy name brand, but that's what I found today. Now, I'm gonna try to put them on here all pretty like, but if you wanna dump them, by all means, you can dump them. All right, if you remember this recipe from the 70s, you'll remember that we put the tater tots on the bottom, and it was tater tots and the soups that we have here, and then the meat. Well, I guess the tater tots, the meat, then the soups, but the meat was cooked. So we just skipped that part. We didn't have to cook it on the stovetop. And then the cheese was last. So this is gonna be a new variation. We didn't have to cook the meat. And this way, the tater tots will get crispier. The other way, they kind of got, well, they were good, they just weren't crispy. And that recipe is actually in my cookbook, From Katie's Kitchen Volume 1. So if you want the original, along with 204 of other family favorite recipes, then I'll drop that link in the description box below as well. So we're gonna put this casserole in the oven, 375, 45 minutes, uncovered. It's going to be important, if you don't want a lot of grease in the bottom, to use maybe a 90-10 meat, 90% beef and the 10% fat, or an 85-15, which is what I use today. Look at that. Those bubbles. Cheese is melted, bubbles around the edges, perfect size. Probably should let it set. But we just now took it out of the oven. Probably should let it set 5 minutes or so before serving, so it can kind of set up a little bit. But this is just out of the oven. All right, look, that is, meat is cooked. It is soupy. And we should probably have let it sit there, like I said. But it's easy dish. Easy weeknight dish. See the layer of meat there? Smells good. Easy dinner. I'm gonna try it even though it's hot. Below for the recipe and my thoughts on the recipe itself, but it turns out to be a keeper. The only thing I would add, I would have salted and peppered the meat. Other than that, it's good. Very good. Link for the recipe will be in the description box. Thanks for watching as we made the hamburger pie, which is very similar to hamburger tater tot casserole, just kind of topsy-turvy a little bit. I hope you're counting your blessings, and I'll see you next time.